Hey, I'm Chanel, and welcome to Doors of Roof. Throughout history, women have shaped our culture, they have inspired change, and they've also left legacies that still echo today. Behind every breakthrough, every movement, or act of courage, there is a woman whose influence cannot be ignored. In this conversation, I was able to sit down with some women, and we had the opportunity to reflect on those who influenced us, both past and present. We also talked about motherhood, friendships, and mentoring. I want to take this time to invite you into our conversation. This is The Influence of a Woman. I hope you enjoy
Yes,
it.
I do think female influence is important because it gives other women inspiration from those female influence to live their lives and to grow from examples of those influencers. As long as they are good ones, it'll give them the opportunity to get opinions from other women.
Is we pass on our knowledge to younger women so that they can avoid going through the discomfort and changes we had to go through growing up.
Even other women in our family, like even with like how she feel like likes to get dressed up.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like it's not just in our family, but in the culture of African American women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were taught you don't walk out the house looking raggedy.
Right. No. And that's that. Okay. Hold on. So while we were in Italy, your auntie Phyllis, I was doing her hair. I don't know if she told you if I did. So I did her hair.
While you was in Italy?
Yeah.
No,
for the wedding.
Uh-huh.
The day before the wedding, I did her hair, and we was just talking and whatnot. And she asked me, she was like, "What is it with younger generations walking outside with their pajamas on and a bonnet on their head?" She asked me that, and I'm like, I don't know, because I even though I am a younger generation, I don't ever see myself walking outside with like pajamas on, like I just rolled out the bed. But yeah, she asked me that, so that made me think about that.
And then I think like maybe like a month ago, Janelle, my daughter was with her dad, and I got so upset. I'm not gonna lie, so upset because she was coming out to the car to get something. Him and her was coming out to the car, and she was walking through the hotel lobby. She had on her pajamas and a bonnet. Soon as she got in the car, I said, "Don't you ever
let me catch you."
I said, "Who you think you are? Walking across a hotel like with a bonnet on."
Right.
And she was like,
like
"Mommy,
you in the house."
like you in the house." I said, "I don't care where you going. You don't walk outside the house with no out your hotel room or the house with a bonnet on."
Right.
I said, "Have you ever seen me walk outside without a bonnet on or a scarf on, looking like I'm just out of bed?" She was like looking at me like, "Mama, it's not that deep." I'm like, "Yes, it is."
Right.
As a teenager, I know I pushed the envelope with my mom because I was the one that, again, we were taught to come out the house looking a certain way. Like, your hair needs to be nicely combed, you need to dress good, smell good, wash all the eye boogers out your face, brush your teeth, all that.
Yeah, at least like just brush your hair up. Even if you just going like to the store for a second, like
girl,
not know like you just rolled out of bed and just left. Like,
because of that, like I said, I pushed the envelope with my mom, and I know I used to irritate her because I remember when I got to be like, I want to say 16, 17, I've always done my hair.
Yeah.
Early age, I learned how to like do my own hair. I could put my hair like little pigtails and stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I got to be like 16, 17 years old, I started wearing my hair in like how they do braid outs now. But braid outs wasn't really popular around the time. It was like seen as you looking messy. And so I remember was one day I had my hair, I thought it was cute. I had my hair in a braid out going to church.
Right.
And my mom looked at me and was like, "I know you're not walking out the house with your hair looking like that." I said, "There's nothing wrong with my hair." And she was like, "No, you need to go do something to your hair." And me and her, we had a showdown that day because I was like, "I'm not touching my hair. It's fine. It's fine the way it is." And I know it irritates the crap out of her.
Right.
But then later on, she grew to learn like this is my personality. And I'm always kind of not intentionally pushing the envelope, but I am.
Yeah. And you want to express yourself. And
Yeah,
that's how you do it. Even if, some other people don't understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, another thing, even with hair, it was for a long time. Some black women didn't believe in cutting your hair.
Right.
So when I cut my
People
hair,
still tell me that to this day.
girl, when I cut my hair, I had to be like
Oh, cut it
21.
short. Your short
When
cut.
I first cut my hair in a pixie, my mom was like, "What did you do to your hair? Would you cut off all your beautiful hair?" I said, "Because I wasn't cut it off. It's just hair."
Right. It'll
Like
grow back.
it was. I was not tell you, my mom when she had a time with me and my outspokenness and the way of me expressing myself.
Mhm.
It was
And getting into yourself and learning yourself.
Yep. Yeah. But that's when it comes down to appearances and how women influence us, whether it's in our family or in culture.
Mhm.
Even my daughter, because of my mindset and changing what it looks like, what it means to be beautiful to me,
Mhm.
she now has a different perspective. Where when she was a kid,
Mhm.
as much as I did not like some of the things that she chose to wear to school,
Yeah.
I gave her like the freedom to pick out whatever she wants to wear.
Right.
There was days Janelle would wear full on what's them things called? Like
Tutu?
No, not she used to wear tutus to school too. Janelle used to wear tutus to school. She used to wear like the dramatic play dresses, like the Cinderella dresses.
Oh, okay.
She
So,
used to
like
have a
princess,
closet. Yeah,
Disney princess.
she used to have a closet full of Disney princess outfits, and she would wear them to school. And people be like, "Why you let her wear that?" I'm like, "That's what she chose to wear."
Right.
And to me, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't something to fight about. I'm like, if she want to be a Disney princess today,
Right.
then baby,
Then
you gonna
let
be a Disney princess today. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, was she happy? Was she healthy? Was she learning? Was she growing? That's all that mattered to me.
Being able to express yourself like that as a kid, that's helping as well.
Yeah. And so, like, even today, if somebody talk about her hair, she be like, "Don't talk about my hair. My hair is beautiful."
Yeah, I
And
love it.
It could be looking all over the place, but she like, it looks beautiful.
I love it.
Because we know that having women around or a female influence is actually very important, not just for other women, but for men as well.
Mhm.
What would you say to women who feel like they don't need a female friend or they don't need female friends? Because you have a lot of women that say like it's very hard for them to have female relationships.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? What would you say to women that feel like they don't need them?
That's a lot.
Okay, so I think that there's a disconnect somewhere, whether it be with their relationship with their mother,
Oh,
or or I'm gonna just say with their mother because some people are raised by like their grandmother or some other woman figure, but even though they're raised by those people, deep down I feel like they still want to have their mother because
There is one young lady there that she says she doesn't have anyone to go to. She talks with mainly her people from work, and giving her advice on relationships and how to raise her kids. She has a mother, but that mother is not a vital role in her life right now. And she uses older females from her job to get inspiration and opinions about life. So when women don't have anyone in their life that they can go to, there's a sort of emptiness there. They don't have any source, no one close to them that they can go to and ask those questions and get real true answers about life. It's an emptiness there that I see.
Yeah. If I had it to do over, I would have loved to have a female mentor while I was growing up. Someone who truly had my best interest at heart and not selfish motives. I've encountered a lot of people I only read about in books. I never thought they were real, but as I got older in life, I found out that they do exist. And they are selfish, and they are after what they can get to benefit themselves, and they don't care who they step on to do it.
you'll always, especially as a woman, you'll always, want that to have that with your mom.
that closeness, the desire, yeah.
Yeah, because even if you're raised by somebody else, your mother is the one that held you in her womb.
Yeah.
Any friends, any other woman. Why would you trust any other woman if you feel like you can't trust your mother?
Okay, for someone who may have had that narrative of, okay, my relationship with my mother was not great.
Mm-hmm.
How do they begin to change the narrative or change their mindset of thinking, although I didn't have a great relationship with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
I still want to have a relationship with other women? How can they change that feeling of betrayal or that?
I was at odds with my mother because her husband, my stepfather, was abusive, and she accepted that abuse, and I couldn't understand why because I was still young.
Mhm.
But as I grew older, I learned that she did what she did to keep a roof over our head, so we wouldn't have to struggle as she did growing up because she was adopted.
Mhm.
Her and her siblings were all adopted and moved here from Mississippi. So they had to endure a whole lot of hardship and trauma from other people.
Okay.
You have to heal that wound.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like sometimes reconciliation is not possible.
In order for us to trust God,
Mm-hmm.
God wants us to be able to trust our earthly parents.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard for us to have a belief in God if the people that raised us or conceived us,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have trust in them.
Right.
So, like you said, it probably stems from a place of they don't have a connection with their mother,
Mm-hmm.
and in the sense of that mother was their almost like their first betrayal.
Yeah.
So growing up, if you have not like healed that wound from your mother
Mm-hmm.
and that betrayal of whatever it may have been, your mother might have been around,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe that person belittled you or
Mm-hmm.
talked down on you, or this the relationship was not healthy.
Yeah. And
That-
if you can't trust your own mother, why would you want to trust anybody else that's not her? You have to forgive and not forget. And you have to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And not think of it like, oh yeah, if I forgive them, then they won.
Open up a little bit more to women that can give you good advice. Because sometimes, from what I see, it may be something like a bit of trust.
Mhm.
Maybe they had something in their past that makes them not want to have any, female women in their lives because of maybe some traumatic event that they went through.
Okay. Forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself. Along with those people that did whatever they did to put you in this negative space and mindset, you have to forgive them, but you have to forgive yourself most importantly. Because if you don't, you carry that trauma and it dictates everything you say and do, and it's not beneficial to you. So yeah, you have to let it go. Let's say let go, let God. That's real.
That's
if I
good.
forget about it, I'm just sweeping it under the rug.
I think
Yeah.
you're right though. I think that's the only way to move forward is to forgive.
Mhm.
And like you said, forgiving does not mean you forgot.
Right.
Because forgiving does not mean that you're sweeping under the rug. And like you said, a big thing is I think from some people is they don't want to forgive or they hold on to that hurt because they're thinking if I forgive them then they won.
Right.
And that's not the case. So forgiveness is like we could talk about forgiveness for everything.
Yes. Yeah. Keep trying. Like, don't let one situation deter you wanting to try again.
Yeah. I think that's with anything too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At first you don't succeed, try again.
Because I lost my mom when I was young and having my kids. And I still had someone there that I could go to and talk with. But I had to also be able to open up.
Yeah.
And not go back to what I had experienced previously. You have to be able to open up and be able to want to have someone in your life and want to reach out. You have to have that. Because if you go through life not wanting to reach out to another woman and getting their perspective on it, then yes, you will tend to make those mistakes, even in your own relationships, even raising your own children. So I hope that you can break down those walls.
Yeah.
And be able to open up and say, I need help. Can you help me?
Everybody is different too.
Yeah.
So like if you have one bad situation, you can't go into every situation saying, oh yeah.
Because sometimes when you don't have that woman figure in your life, you tend to make wrong decisions, not only in relationships, but then if you have children also, not having that woman there someone that you can go to. You may not know how to raise your own kids in a good environment. And you just tend to I'm not saying all women do, but not having someone there for you would make you, have an emptiness there and not make good decisions from what I see.
This woman lied to me or stole something from me. So every woman is gonna do that. Everybody is not the same.
God is just such a gracious God that I definitely believe He will put people in your life that will be the example to change your mind about that.
But there were a few women that I've encountered in my lifetime that inspired me and helped me to understand the value of trusting God and how He can change things for me. Like Miss Williams, she was my first Sunday school teacher. I was in my mid-20s when I joined church for the first time. Her teaching, it taught me a lot of different things, and it made me see things from a different point of view. Because I knew I wasn't always right, but I also knew I wasn't always wrong.
But God will put people in your life that will change the narrative for you, that will help you open your mind and
change your heart.
Yeah, change your heart. I know He's done that for me in several occasions. Like I can't count the amount of women and men influences in my life that have given me a better outlook on parents and motherhood, sisterhood, friendship. And not saying that my own parents weren't great, but it just gives you a different perspective. What is your point of view as being the oldest sibling? So how has that shaped your view, not just as that older sibling, but the oldest sister?
Even for example, myself, if I had not had my older sisters and some aunts in my life, then yes, I wouldn't have been able to get this far because I lost my mom when I was young.
Like I had to figure everything out on my own. We look for people who are
closer in age.
Yes, closer in age. And that, I feel like those are the examples that we look to.
Okay. I basically saw how mom raised the older kids and I saw how mom raised the younger kids. So being the middle, I was always in the middle of everything. Everything was, we're going to go to her for it. This is the middle child. Although there's two older sisters, it was me.
So you like the one that pull everybody together?
Yes.
I would say you were one of those people.
Okay.
We're 5 years apart.
Are we? I thought it was like 7. Are we 7 or 5?
5. I'm 30.
You 30? No, you're not.
Yes, I'm 30.
Shut up. When you turn 30?
March.
No, I thought you turned 29.
No, 30.
No, I thought you turned 28 actually.
No, JoJo.
Shut up.
Wait.
You're 30? Now you old. I didn't.
One of those people. My mom's friend that she had since kindergarten, her daughter.
Okay.
She's 3 years older than me. She was one of those people.
I don't want to shovel right now.
Of course, my mom, grandmother, my aunt.
Yeah. So those are people that was closer in age that you looked up to.
Right.
But as far as like, you said you feel like you had to always figure it out.
Yeah.
For your siblings.
Well.
What? Because is it that you knew they were looking up to you, or like you just want to be a good example for them?
I don't feel like it was that for me to where I feel like I had to like take care of my younger siblings.
As far as female representation, like you look to your cousins, you're younger than me, so I think in my mind, I didn't feel like I had to be a role model for y'all, but I think it was in the back of my mind. I was like, these are my baby cousins, so if they're ever around, I want to make sure that I'm not doing wrong,
right,
by them.
I want to say this. You know how you move? That really inspired me.
Really?
Move, yeah, to a different state.
Okay.
Because I can't remember the first place you moved, but I remember.
I ended up moving to Illinois first, and then we moved to Germany.
Okay, maybe it was Illinois, but I remember. I don't know why I thought it was Spelman.
No, I used to take a lot of college trips to Atlanta and just college tours a lot
Okay.
in my
so it
last
must
year of
have
college.
right. It must have been when you were doing that. And your mom, she would talk about like, how y'all, or she would talk about like moving away for college, like if you want to do it, do it. So, when you move, that inspired me a lot to be like, okay, I don't have to, I can,
You can
go
go, yeah.
anywhere. Like I don't have to stay in Detroit, even though I did stay, but
We both stayed for a little bit.
it still was like, wow, let me, think
Explore.
about things
Yeah.
bigger or, different.
Yeah. I think that's good too.
Mhm.
I would highly recommend getting out of your own hometown and going to live in another state or another city.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to explore other than just your hometown.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Detroit. Love Detroit, but there's so
The
much
world
more to
is bigger.
explore. Yeah.
The world is bigger.
Yeah. Who do you look up to now, or as an influence or as an inspiration? Not like in a way of, oh, I want to be like them, but as like, oh, I see what they're doing and it's inspirational and it's inspiring me to take my own journey or do something great for myself. Like, if that makes sense.
It
Does that make
does.
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. When I was younger, I did feel like I needed to have an example, and I needed to look to somebody. But I feel like now, so I feel like for me, just seeing somebody, and it could be anybody, role that I'm trying to be in, I feel like that's enough for me.
For me, I think it's kind of the same thing. It's like,
For lack of a better way of saying it, like I don't want to be like anybody else.
yeah, I don't think that's
Nah.
at this point. I don't think it's like you want to be like someone else, but I could look at other women and say the path that they're taking or they have taken or chose to take is inspiring.
Yes.
But I think for me, because I've always been the type of person that I go to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah.
I don't look at other women and be like, oh, I want what you got, or
Right.
or not much as an influence. I think of this. How I think of it as I am very grateful for women who choose to be obedient to their purpose and what God has told them to be. Because them being obedient to what God has told them to do, it opens a door for me to be encouraged to do what God tells me to do.
Yeah.
That's more of
that
how I feel.
was very poetic.
Was it?
I like that. That's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to put it.
And put it together. It was like, okay, she can do it, I can do it. And not in a sense of competition. It was like you opened the door for me. Yeah. So thank you for opening the door, and now I can step through. And I think that's how I view myself now. Like even with Daughters of Ruth, I see it as I want to be inspiring to other people where you see me and you don't think of me as competition, but understand I'm opening the door for you to step through. Yes. How has women walking with the Lord and being Christians influenced your faith?
As a little kid, I love going to church. Like I love putting on my dresses, getting my hair pressed, and going to church. But I would say then I didn't really understand the gist of Jesus and God, the Christian religion. Like I didn't really get it. It wasn't until I had PJ say I had like a awakening. When I had him, it was just such an experience, like spiritual experience, and it made me want to follow God more. Okay. Focus on my walk with God and my relationship with God, and even bring them into it.
Okay.
So, and I feel like I'm still
like
learning and growing with that.
That's good.
And our conversation when you talked about like religion versus spiritual and how people focus on more so the religious aspect of it versus
actually having a relationship with God, with Jesus.
Yes, like I feel like that really spoke to me. Kind of my story with it.
Yeah. I think that's the case with some people in our generation now. Yes. I would say they don't want a relationship with the church, which
I feel like that is important.
I would say not church, because I want to say like the religious, like the protocol, the show.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can see from an outside perspective how sometimes going to a building could seem like a show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that the church is a show. I'm not saying at all. I'm saying more people are gravitating to want to know Jesus.
Yeah.
And not, oh, this is Sunday. This is what I'm known to do. I get up. Tradition.
Mm-hmm.
It's I want to know God.
Yes.
And I would say for me, I was like you when we grew up in a family where our family prays. Our family went to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
My mom went to church, but even in that, it was like you hear the phrase, "I've been church all my life."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was in church all my life, but I didn't know God. I didn't know Jesus.
Something that you feel it like something is missing. Even if you doing the routine or the show.
Yeah. And that's where we're now. I didn't know Jesus. I got saved. Like I said the words out of my mouth at church.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't experience Jesus until I was home in the bathroom. I didn't surrender my life to the Lord until I was like 28.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have this whole time where, yes, I was professing to be a Christian, but I was not walking a life and leading a life of a Christian, of someone that followed Jesus, because I didn't know him.
Right.
Like I knew of him.
Yeah.
I think I knew I've had experiences and encounters with him, but at that point in my life, it wasn't enough to get me to surrender to him until it was, okay, this is bigger than me going to church.
Yes.
And being inside a building. And again, nothing wrong with that. I go to church myself. I serve in church. I think people should go to church and serve.
Mm-hmm.
But you should have a relationship with Jesus.
Yes.
And not be there for any other reason other than to serve God.
Mm-hmm. Like going to church, fellowshipping with people, that should bring you closer with God.
Yeah.
And strengthening your relationship with Him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's the goal.
That's the goal. And you communicate with people who are like-minded, one has the same purpose. Like, I'm here to serve the Lord. Now, I think it gets messy when you are in a community where that's not the goal.
Right.
Women in our family specifically, it has shaped me in a way where, although I didn't go to church, for, when I turned 18, I stopped going. And then I didn't go to church again until I was married. I was like 20. I was 22. I went to church. And I was trying to find a church. And then we started moving more. So I went to Germany, and I think that's when the Lord started really encountering me and started speaking to me about my walk with him. Because I began to step into church, and I was like, I don't believe that the Lord is here.
Right.
Because I would see things, and he was opening my eyes to my spiritual gifts. And I'm like, I'm seeing things that don't look right.
Right. That you feel and it's like
something quite off.
I know we're in church, but no.
Yeah. No. And so even now, like a lot of things that he has taught me, the Holy Spirit taught me now, I can go back and pinpoint areas where I will be in church, and I could pinpoint the spirit that I was looking at in the pulpit. It's hard to say it like that, but in the pulpit. Because I have been in a church where I'm like, you got the spirit of perversion on you. But at the time, I didn't know it was a spirit of perversion. But after the Lord had taught me and me coming to him and have a relationship with him, that's how I learned.
Right.
And I would say I learned more from, again, having a relationship with Jesus versus actually being in church. And that's sad for me to say that, but it's true. I think going to a Bible-based church is important. Yeah. But again, you have to pair that with your own personal time and intimacy with God.
Yes.
Period.
Understanding and comprehension Is important too.
Women in church definitely helped because without that, I don't think I would have been able to get through. And that is the honest truth. You have to have some kind of spiritual relationship with God and go to your church women, your church family, and get that advice from those older women, even the mothers of the church. Go to them, open up, and break down those walls.
Throughout my life, I've had the honor and the privilege to meet many different women from a variety of backgrounds. These women that I have crossed paths with has in some way played a role in the person I am today. They have pushed me towards being a better person and ultimately towards my purpose. So for that, I say thank you. But right now, I want to take a moment to give a special thank you to two women who have greatly influenced my life more than they would ever know. So I want to say thank you to Rachel, the one who not only took me in as a friend, but also became my family. In some ways, cared for me when I was kind of still a baby and helped me while I was carrying my baby. Rachel met me during some of the darkest times in my life. And in some ways, if it was not for Rachel and her family, I don't know where I would be today. So thank you, Rachel, for not just being my friend, but being like a big sister when I needed it, for being my family away from my family, for always welcoming me with open arms and an open heart, for giving without counting the cost, and always being the shoulder to lean on. Thank you. And the other woman I'd like to thank and honor is my sweet honeybee, my Ramona. I met her during a time of coming out of darkness and into a new season, a transition. And we both were in transitions. And throughout the season of our lives, she has maintained a light that refused to be dimmed. She's a fighter, she's a warrior, and she's taught me to be that too. Just like Rachel, she has welcomed me into her arms, into her heart, into her family by watching her and spending time with her. In some ways, she has also been like a friend, a sister, and sometimes a mother. And for that, I'm thankful. Watching her gracefully move through life has taught me how to not just be a woman, but to be a lady, how to care for my family and be a better mother. So today, again, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Rachel. I love you both.